pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm sitting stand because that motion to accept abstract 11 fees and Roy, $80,054.13. Make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Seconded for discussion.
Go ahead.
Can we just amend the motion to approve pending additional review tomorrow?
Okay.
Roll call.
Steve? Aye. Randy?
Aye.
Darlene? Cynthia?
Aye.
Aye. All business, events, discussion, Tracy Casey, L'Oreal.
I know our meeting was canceled. Our meeting was canceled, so I just want to see if there's any questions or anything you have.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I'm sorry that I was traveling home and I did not get back in time to have your input. I did text Darlene and she was nice enough to get that. So last Friday, our clerk actually has been working on this use of facilities agreement also. The ones that I was going to look for input from you two on Friday, nobody on the board has reviewed it, so I still have that. But now I'm working with the clerk who has some more stuff. So we're going to try and work together and merge that. And I'd love to reschedule. Ladies.
But I just wanted to follow up since it was canceled, and I just wanted to see if you had any questions.
Yes, and I love that we have it under old business so that we can just constantly have that reminder.
Okay.
Anything more? New business. New business, accept the resignation of our attorney, Bill Frank. I thought he was pretty good. There was a lot of controversy about him being in the village and the town, representing both village and the town. Him and I had several discussions about this, and I wish him well, and I thank him for his service to this village. So, make a motion? Second?
Second, with regrets.
Second one.
Roll call.
All in favor? Steve?
Nay.
Randy? Aye.
I accept with regrets.
Gordon? Cynthia?
Aye.
Steve, was sorry.
I said nay.
Approve purchase of bollards costing $2,000. Those are those posts?
Yeah, it's basically it's like crash posts. Bollards? Yep. So this money, and thank you, Randy, for actually setting up the hookup for that, was from the Community Foundation. They gave us the money to buy it straight from Woodard, which is a local company. I believe I gave you guys the other two quotes that we had. It's more expensive to get it elsewhere as well. So the only reason why we need to do the vote for it is because the money goes into our account and then back out. So just to buy things we got the money for free.
I'll make a motion.
Well, it cost $2,875 to go to the police station. I think this is good. I want to see our village hall protected. All right, make a motion. You made it, Steve. Second.
Awesome.
Second by Darlene. Randy.
Aye.
Cynthia.
Aye.
Aye. Stephen, you are? Okay. I got it. I consider amending the code read in regard to parking tickets. No enforcement.
Did we see an intended code change anywhere?
So, sent a list.
I looked for it again tonight, and it may be my oversight, but I did not see it. I did not see the suggested changes. Are we just considering it?
So-
Or are we
go
It's up,
looking to.
and these are recommendations I'm making. It's up to the board, obviously, to decide if you guys want to put these into place. The one I would recommend potentially doing tonight is for the inclement weather. Because right now we have a snow ordinance that you can't park on village roads in 2 inches of snow.
Can everybody hear that? You can't park on, we're discussing amending the code to match the parking tickets. Right now, they are not driving, so they're not enforceable, correct?
Stand up, please.
Thank you.
Right now, the village code for inclement for snow parking is 2 inches. You can't park on village roads. The problem with that is the most dangerous thing to a plow truck is not snow of 2 inches, it is ice. So obviously what we're seeing more and more now is freezing rain, a lot more just sheets of ice on the road, and you're more likely to have the plow run into your car on the side of the road with ice than you are with 2 inches of snow. So it's kind of an obsolete rule that, just doesn't help the village at all.
Well, in the past, I've done code rights, advising people to not walk on the street because of the snow. And you know as well as I, we don't balance the budget, people park. That's just not the way to run a village. If you can remind them, I used to go around a loudspeaker and just say, hey, can everybody move? We got to open the top side parking. And if they did, then we got to go from there. We have to have snow toes or something like that. But sometimes people work shift work, sometimes they can't get out there, and who knows what the reason is. But my father was an old-time Bronx cop, and he said, just take it easy on parking tickets. Really, they're working fast.
We do make every attempt to try to contact the owners. The other sections, I mean, if you guys want to just review those, that's not something that needs to happen. There's no rush on it. It's just some, again,
Did
suggestions.
anybody review these? Did anybody else on the board review these? I did.
Joe contacted me about it, so.
Yes, it's okay to say yes. Okay, so then if I'm reading them now, if everybody else is comfortable considering it, then I'm comfortable considering it based on what we're reading now. If we want to do just the weather-related one now and push the rest to the next meeting so we can go quickly down the line and just approve it. Are the tickets ready for that, and is the court ready for that?
The court, so all the court would need to do is nothing. Really, the big change for the parking tickets would be that the guys just have to write VO and then the code number. And
So we
that's
don't
it.
get anything new printed, and we're ready, we're just making everything match.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we do it tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I believe you have to do each individual wall, though,
Yeah.
and there's quite a few. So it's up to you guys.
It's been years since I wrote a ticket. Don't they have another spot in there still?
A what?
Another
Yes.
spot to other?
But we have to have a code to match it, that's the issue.
I didn't say,
Can I put my 2 cents in?
please.
No.
Okay. This is something I wish we would have done many, many years ago. I always felt that the 2-inch rule was too late, because by the time you already get 2 inches, now the cars are already stuck in the road, people are trying to get them moved, it just calls for a greater, it just makes it harder. And also, like Joe pointed out, anymore, we get more ice than we do snow. So if the cars are off the road, that's a lot less we have to worry about. Instead of trying to go around them, and when you're trying to plow 1/4 inch of ice, it grabs the plow, a lot greater chance of hitting the car.
So there are quite a few, they are pretty quick, and we have to read them now or at the next meeting, so if you want to, you have to read them no matter what.
We got you.
You want me? Okay.
Read up here.
Yeah, microphone.
All right,
Would you like to vote on each one?
Yeah, so.
Just all do them all together. You think we're on the same boat here, Chris, so just tell us what you're doing. You got it.
Oh, yeah, so didn't plan to come up here and read them all out loud. Okay.
I'm gonna be in the car.
So, ready? Okay. So, the first law would be. I got it here.
All right. So the first section is going to be snow parking, which is 114-21. And the amendment is to change it, instead of saying a fall of precipitation of snow of 2 inches or more, and thereafter it's a inclement weather that hinders the operation of vehicles upon the roadway, to include but not limited to snow, ice, hail, freezing rain, etc. And then change the second section, instead of it saying snow has been removed or cleared, to hindrance has been cleared. Everything else remains the same on that.
Before you go on to the design of the other one, where did you get the suggested language? Other municipalities or?
I tend to know. That's why I was saying I should review it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if this isn't from the attorney, then please not read it.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll go with that.
Yes, we'll have the attorney review them and get them back to us before the 30th, so we can.
I enforce the laws. I don't
Okay,
make the
sounded
laws.
great, and I was like, what are you here for? Okay, so, okay,
So we'll just vote on that one.
yep, okay, table that.
Just make the snow one for him. Not if an attorney didn't give him the language for it, or he didn't take it directly from someone else's code.
Approve it pending attorney.
The concept.
So the,
No, you can write in the other. You can write in the other.
yes, but they were saying the language in it. So the other village code ones were taken from either the BTL or other sections.
Okay,
That one was the one that was typed up directly to you. So
okay.
it's up to you
All
guys,
the-
like I said, I would also recommend
Hold it,
this
before-
would be by everybody, but
We could have a nice storm out here tonight. Let's just get this thing passed and get the language taken care of here.
But the one specific to the weather, what he's saying is the one specific to the weather, although he's a very great gentleman, and I have full faith in his ability, it was not from motor vehicle law, or from an attorney, or from someone else's code. That's the one in question, the rest were all from other codes. So the one you really would like to approve tonight doesn't have anybody's other eyes on it.
What other law do you have that would cover that, somehow cover it?
we have that, so law is in place right now for the 2 inches. It's just amending it to say that instead. You know, I mean, again, I put this in as suggestions for the board to review and decide to do with what you guys will. Again, by no means do I write the laws.
There's enough in there that I would be all right approving it tonight, the language. It doesn't have to be all legalese or whatever. It says common wording. Well, I have no problems doing it. To cover this village. I don't want to go and find out by the next meeting, if we don't have an attorney or whatever, well, we should have done this, we should have done that. There should be stuff in there that says hazards, road hazards, whatever. That go along with what you're saying. I don't need to copy in other municipalities. There's nothing in the DOT that goes into municipalities. The speed not reasonable, prove when you can exist, when you don't know an actual speed. Speed not reasonable, prove means they're driving 50 miles an hour in a 50 mile an hour zone when there's ice and snow over the place. So in this case, I have no problem with you approving your language and then maybe cleaning it up later. It still has the same intent, it protects this village, and it does what Jake wants to do.
Did
So
Judge
I'm just
Josh
one
ever
out of 5 votes
feedback?
here, but I don't want to push this down the road. I want to take this and listen out to everybody.
When was it sent out?
Public hearing.
We'd have enough time in the summertime, but here we're getting right down to it. And Jake says they've been wanting to do this for years, so it's here. We'll clean it up, we'll clean up the languages, but
Are we in discussion? Like, was there a motion made?
no discussion here. So,
I
you know,
agree with
1 to
Trustee
5
Picardo,
votes,
like,
I have
we
no
need to get the
problem
language
doing it.
correct, so even if we vote,
I make a motion to pass the snow parking ordinance as chief has written it, with condition of the approval by attorney.
I agree with you.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Steve? Randy?
We're still in discussion, right? Yeah, that's the only one in question. If everything else has been pulled from vehicle and traffic law, then that's the only one in question. Then read through them and let's do that. If it's appropriate to say pending a final approval on the weather related one.
Can we just read the green ones, chief?
Green is anything that's added, red is taken out. The front page was just the fine. But again, this is all suggestions, and the board would need to decide on what they would like to do with it.
There's too much here just to throw together. We need to review it. Why don't we just do the first one? Get them the inclement weather coverage that they want, and then we can look through these and do it at the next meeting.
Are you good with that?
With the attorney approval, like getting the correct.
Right, well, we have to do one at a time anyway, they're ordinances, we can't do them together. So we already did the first one, let's just vote on the first one.
Do we have to have a public hearing for it?
No.
That's local law. For local law?
This is just parking ordinance, right?
There's no rush on this, as far as the other ones anyway.
Right.
I mean, obviously the winter's coming, so.
Right, that's what I want. I want to be approved for something.
Winter's coming, yes.
It's what Jake wants, it's what you want.
I would like to see more information and wordage from the attorney.
We don't have an attorney right now.
We have an
and
attorney
snow is
until
on the
November
way,
30th.
so this
We
is
can
what we're
still
gonna
get
do.
it.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been seconded.
Yep, we have a motion and a second, so we'll just have to take a vote.
All right, Steve,
Aye.
Randy,
I vote to table.
me, aye. Charlie,
All right.
Cynthia.
Nay.
All right, 3-2. Anything else on that, Joe? Does that satisfy you, Jake? You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Polish it up into and I still say the robocalls for this, just for the guy who forgets, or the person who's working shift work.
May or may not have tickets.
I gotta drive now.
Authorize the Village of Montgomery PD to sign an IMA with the TRU team for emergency situations such as barricaded subjects.
You got a lot on this agenda here, buddy.
I know.
I'll make the motion.
How it is coming.
Has
I'll
everyone-
second it for discussion.
Okay, has everyone reviewed? And everyone is in support and understands what a true team for emergency situations is?
Yeah.
Would you like to give a one-sentence overview?
One sentence, sure. Basically, this is a local municipality SWAT team within the county that just gives us an additional resource to call on, such as SOG or SORT, which is state police. So in the event those two SWAT teams aren't available, the true team could potentially be available. That's all it does. Doesn't cost us
Mutual aid.
anything.
In conjunction with the sheriff's department. Pretty much self-explanatory. All right, make a motion to approve this.
We got a motion
Okay.
and a second, we need to vote.
Steve.
Aye.
Randy.
Aye.
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 Cynthia.
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. All right, authorize the reclassification of Ann Bombino to the secretary to the police chief. Make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Stephen.
Aye.
Randy.
Aye.
Me, aye. Charlie. Cynthia.
Aye.
Any discussion on this?
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing with that one, so if I'm correct, that was just to create the position, or is that to put her in the position?
That's
It was both. Right?
It was both.
It has a name in it.
Second motion is the,
Is she officially in the position now, or does she need to first resign from the clerk's position and then?
she should resign from the clerk's position.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Can't let this roll.
So we need a second motion to do that.
That's for her, for the clerk. To resign from the clerk's position and then go into the.
Dear Chief, please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the position of clerk effective November 19, 2025. I thank you for the opportunity and experience I have gained while serving in this role. Sincerely, and Bombino. Second motion, accept the resignation of Ann PD clerk and reinstate her as the secretary to the police chief.
That's a combined motion.
She's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a combined motion.
Yes.
Yes.
So who motioned
Not
it?
reinstate.
You can't read
I'm good.
Reappoint. Reappoint. Appoint. Thank you, Rose.
So we need
I make the motion.
Okay, second? Okay. Stephen? Aye. Randy?
Aye.
Me, aye. Charlie? Cynthia?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
After the meeting.
Back to the meeting. She's incredible, she's a talent, and so is Stephanie. Good people. Authorize the increase of revenue of AO or A0? AO-3391-000, expense line AO3120-201 to reflect the lead tech grant from 24-25 for $21,237.64.
Similar to the previous ones that have been approved, this was one that should have been approved on that batch. So it's raising one and raising the other, so it's zeroed out. We did talk with the.
Motion, Stephen, motion, make a motion. Second?
I'll second.
Stephen?
Aye.
Randy?
Aye.
Me, aye. Darlene? Cynthia?
Aye.
Yes. No. Appoint the clerk to the village justice effective Monday, December 1st, 2025. Valerie Swanky. I interviewed her. She is incredibly qualified. She lives in the village. It's a godsend to get somebody like this to hit the ground running in this court position because it requires a lot of expertise here. We had Jessica Nelson, who was very, very good. We had Barbara Conway forever, and we're just lucky that this fits.
What is her,
Like, what's the hourly rate?
I don't have that.
My understanding
is
is.
it? No, she didn't live in the area. Who's reviewed the resume and what is the prior
The judge
experience?
reviewed the resume. The judge did the whole resume.
We just appoint them.
She asked, she's not here today because she had a court. She didn't, that's not the judge. She interviewed her, reviewed the resume, got the salary. I recall, I don't know because I wasn't part of the conversation yesterday. Today it was 24 an hour, so that's what you would be approving. The other items that we discussed in executive session, which we cannot discuss here, are not provided.
She asked me to sit on the interview. I said, no, she's going to be working with you all interview her separately. She interviewed her. She said she liked her. Apparently, she did a couple of them. She liked her. I interviewed her, and here we are. She was very good in the village, real close.
Make a motion, I'll second.
Make a motion.
Can we make sure the wording is appropriate?
What word are you looking for?
We have to say the person's name and their wage and the position. Okay, just make sure we state that.
Her last name is Swanky.
Valerie Swanky, $24 an hour.
I'll second.
Stephen?
Aye.
Randy?
Aye.
Me, aye. Darlene? Cynthia?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to institute a flat fee for water sewer in the amount of $40 total per billing cycle to be placed into a capital improvements account for water sewer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second for discussion.
Go ahead.
Have we created the proper account and budget line and all of that corresponding stuff?
We will once we start getting the money.
It won't go into effect until June.
Okay, and just to be clear, this is going towards future capital improvements as an example of course correction and an action plan, correct?
Correct.
I'll make the motion.
We already have a second.
Oh, we did?
Cynthia and
One
Randy.
second, Steve.
Stephen?
Aye.
Randy?
Aye.
Me, aye. Darlene? Cynthia?
Aye.
This is good for you. Ethics. Rob Salvin?
Board. You agenda's a little misprinted, it's supposed to say, Village Board of Ethics, not ethics, but. What I'm gonna talk about today is the Village Board of Ethics. Sure. Sounds like it's on. I'm trying to read at the same time, so it's a little difficult. Okay, so why the subject came to my mind was about a year and a half ago, I wanted to make a complaint to the Village Board of Ethics. And I asked around the people who would know how to do that. And the ultimate result was I was told by Village Hall that the Village Board of Ethics does not accept complaints from the general public. Didn't sound legit to me, but I didn't understand how public employees or public officers could avoid public complaints, but I accepted it and moved on. Recently, I had occasion to want to make complaints again. I said, I'm not going to go with this answer of, you can't do it. So I started looking further. And as is like 90% of the time that I address the board, I'm not giving you my opinion, I'm giving you material. And what I'm going to tell you now comes, if anyone wants to look at their internet machines, New York General Municipal Law, Section 808, which covers the Board of Ethics. And here's what it says. So number one, the governing body of any county may establish a county board of ethics and appropriate monies for maintenance and personal services in connection area. So county can make a board of ethics and has to fund it. Number three, on the same page, same law, statute says, the governing body of any municipality, which the village is obviously, other than the county, may establish a local board of ethics. And where such governing body is so authorized, appropriate money for maintenance and personal service in connection therewith. To make one, got to finance. It goes on to say, a local board shall have all the powers and duties of, and shall be governed by, the same conditions as a county board of ethics, except that it shall act only with respect to officers and employees of the municipality. Obviously, you can't deal with someone from Monroe. Now, what does that mean? The term governed by the same conditions. It means it ensures laws and conditions that govern a situation, ensuring that all parties are treated fairly under the law. So you can't make your own rules. You have to follow the same conditions as the county. So whatever the county rules are, substitute the word County of Orange, insert the word Village of Montgomery, and off you go. What do we really have? This is Code of Ethics from the Village of Montgomery, E-Code 360. It's 4 pages plus 2 sentences. This is the whole thing. Some of the key things that are incongruent with the county that are major, and I'm not going to go through all of them because they're all here. But some of the major ones are, for starters, the village board consists of 5 members. The county says has to be 7. So off the bat, it's not set up with the proper amount of people. Second, big issue. The village says, I'm reading from section 2-7, there is hereby established a board of ethics of the village consisting of 5 members. I'm going to go to the Orange County one, let's show you it's 7. It goes on to say, all members shall be appointed by the Board of Trustees for a term of 5 years. The county says a different way it's appointed. I'm going to read it to you. And it's for 3 years, not 5. The village says, the Board of Ethics may adopt rules and regulations relative to the conduct of its business, but may only render advisory opinions subject to these limitations. Requests shall be in writing, and requests or inquiries must originate with the municipal officer or employee. That's consistent with the village when you're asking the county, when you're asking for an advisory opinion. Nowhere in the county village rules does it have anything to do with the word complaint from anybody. And we're going to show you why that's a problem. Now I'm going to the county Board of Ethics website. If anybody wants to follow along on their internet devices, this is the frequently asked questions. Who can report violations of county ethics law? Now remember, anytime you hear county, imagine it says village. The OCBE may accept a complaint or allegation of conflict of interest regarding any county officer or employee from a member of the OCBE, Orange County Board of Ethics, anyone in the general public, or any county officer or employee. We have been denied our rights to make a complaint since it looks like 1991 the village established the Board of Ethics. The next one I highlighted, OCBE is comprised of 7 members, appointed by the county executive, not the board, and confirmed by the legislature, which is the board. The major responsibilities of the OCBE are rendering advisory opinions, which is consistent with the village, receiving and acting on complaints or allegations from the general public or county officers or employees. Once again, general public, that's us. The village doesn't have that. It's inconsistent with the law. Our board meetings open to the public. If you look on the village website and look for minutes or agendas from the Board of Ethics, I think there's a total of 4 or 5 from like 12 to 13 years ago. They're supposed to have meetings, minutes, and agendas. Okay? Yes, the meetings are open to the public, although certain matters may be discussed in a closed executive session. So, they're supposed to have meetings just like you guys do. And it's subject to open meetings law. Who can report a violation of county ethics law? The board may accept a complaint or allegation of conflict of interest regarding any county officer or employee from a member of the OCBE, anyone in the general public, or any county officer. How do I report a violation? Must be in writing and signed. Nonverbal or anonymous requests or complaints will be considered by the board and no action, will be considered by the board and no action will be taken to follow up on such matters. All written and signed complaints of potential violations of county ethics law shall be filed on a complaint form and contain as much detail as possible. So there needs to be a form promulgated by the village. That's in here as well. Will my inquiry report be kept confidential? All complaints or allegations of a conflict of interest or violation of the county ethics law are kept in the confidential records of the OCBE unless made public by the OCBE after there has been a determination that there has been a violation. In addition, the court may order a complaint or allegation to be unsealed. So these are some of the FAQs. I'm just going to see if I highlight any more. I don't want to bore you with too many, just the big ones. Now, here is the complaint form that the county provides on their website for members of the public or board members. 2 meetings a year is mandatory minimum for the county. They do one every single month. Here's their schedule. Now, would the village board have to do it every month? Maybe, maybe not, but at least twice a year. Here is the disclosure law. Our entire thing is 4 pages. This is 36. I'm just highlighting a couple of things that are the big ones. Term of office. Remember we said the village says 5 years? Members of the Board of Ethics shall serve staggered 3-year terms. Not 5. I'm not making it up, I'm reading it. You guys can all look at this. This is on the Orange County website. Number 8, organization and meeting requirements. The Board of Ethics shall select a chairperson and other officers, the chairperson and the charter board, for a meeting. The Board of Ethics shall meet a minimum of 2 times a year and subject to open meetings law. Talks about the advisory opinions. I'm not going to bore you with that again. Receive information. All complaints must be made on a complaint form promulgated by the Ethics Board. You can't write an email, can't fill out a napkin, can't write an essay. You have to fill out the form that they've created. That's the rules. Meeting and board minutes. Meeting of the board shall conform to Article 7 of Open Public Meetings Law. So I have got meetings just like you guys do. Appointment of hearing officers. In January of every calendar year, the Board of Ethics shall select a panel of 5 individuals licensed to practice law in the state of New York to serve as hearing officers during the calendar year. We have 5 people the Board of Ethics picks every January to be hearing officers. I don't know. If they had meetings and minutes, we should know. And there's plenty more. I'm not going to get any more of those. Here is their, it takes about 14 or 15 pages. It's got 16 topics. Regulations for adjudication proceedings. So the procedure when they have a hearing, 16 points that have to be made. I don't know if our board has ever had any hearing. We have no minutes, no meeting minutes or agendas. So we don't even know. But if they did, they have to follow that, otherwise it's called a nullity in the law. And here's some resolutions and adoptions and all kinds of other stuff. The bottom line is, you guys are responsible as a board for creating and abolishing other boards within the village. I am saying that you guys have to, you should do it today, immediately, because every minute this ethics board remains intact, the way it's set up and organized, is every minute that at the minimum the public is being denied their rights. You must abolish the board and decide if you want to do a new one, start over, do it right, assign people the way they're supposed to be done, follow state law that says you have to do it the way the county does it, or don't do it at all. It's as simple as that, because the law says if you're going to have one, you have to do it the exact way the county does it. Period. Our 4 pages don't even come close. So I'm going to say this, because as you know, I've been talking a lot about public's rights and how we're not getting them. You're not going to do it today, obviously, even though you should. But at the next meeting, I'm suggesting you put it on the agenda for a vote to abolish the ethics board. If you don't, I'm going to file an Article 78 and go to court and ask the judge to do it, because this is a joke. 4 pages against 40 of what's supposed to be done. And the public has denied its rights since 1991, apparently. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, trustee updates. Again, I established this my first quarter, I took office. My reasoning was for nice things, find out what we're doing, update the public on what each trustee is doing out there. And I hope it continues that way.
Microphone, please.
Did most people hear what I said?
No.
Okay. I established these trustee reports when I first took office with the idea that there would be pleasant things, nothing negative here, pleasant things. What have you done, what have you come across, what's going on, and I hope they continue that way because that's my intent to do. So first up, Steve, you got it.
As most of you know, my mom has been ill lately, so I haven't had a whole bunch of time. I have been able to go to the OPTAB meetings, and we had a very good one on cybersecurity. That was very informative. And there's a young gentleman who actually wants to meet with you, Mike, and see what your thoughts are on increasing our cybersecurity ideas with that. We're working with the CAC and some of the other organizations to look into the extension of Marion Court and whether that was something that we could do. I believe Bruce is going to speak about it tonight. And pretty much that's all I've been able to get to this month. I'm sorry, guys.
Who's going to speak back to me?
Bruce.
No, I knew that, I just didn't hear.
I'm gonna go last, Cynthia can go. Cynthia can go, I'm gonna go last.
I also attended the October OCTAB meeting. There was a solar company that was there that did a nice presentation. They emailed it out to everybody, and the cybersecurity company that passed out their information. On November 14th, I was able to have a meeting with the deputy mayor to go over a lot of the items that we wanted to have under old business, just to make everybody aware of what we've been working on. An overview of the comptroller's report, which was a letter from April. The clerk is helping us work through that. A discussion regarding the senior center review. I asked the deputy mayor, she's going to follow up with a request for the documents that they were asking for. I'm sorry. Oh, great, okay. Check.
What was that resolution? I'm sorry.
I had asked the deputy mayor to follow up with the senior advisor council that asked for the front of their safe and the documents that were still in the closet. You got the little documents? Okay. Oh, excellent. Great. Final approval of the employee handbook and correspondent policies, because we had sent them out to the unions, and the clerk is going to check with the attorney on that.
I have an update on that.
Okay.
He did not send them to the union, so I will take that.
So it's still your to-do, on your to-do.
It's on my to-do to send it to the unions, he did
Okay.
not send it to me.
Excellent. Set a date for an additional budget work session. The clerk's looking to help us do that for January. Update on mayor and court, the DPW will report out on that. Update on the hydrants, DPW is gonna do that. Update on traffic study and DOT petitions. Charlie, we did receive your letter and we're currently reviewing it, thank you. And then, I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook, Brian Martin put out for the petition for paving, 211. I know Walt Wilkie is here tonight, and he does, for those that are not on social media, we do have paper forms that you can fill out to get people, so please share it, tell your friends, have them sign the paper, because we all drive on 211, and we all know what those road conditions are like, so please help sign that petition. The approval of events category, like I said, that's what Debbie gave me on Friday, so she emailed it to me, so thank you ladies, for talking about that. I did miss the November 5th meeting due to illness, and then November 10th, we had a budget meeting, which we promised in April that we would start working, and at least talking about budget stuff before the new year, so that meeting was done. And then consider approving the ethics resolution, which I do have a copy of it here. Our attorney sent this email out to the entire board on October 21st. So I have a resolution for the Board of Trustees of the Village of Montgomery declaring to undertake certain steps towards effective governance. These are the findings and the action plan put forward by our attorney from the ethics board. So I'd like to read that if that's okay.
Well, is this going to be voted on?
Yes.
Well, this isn't on the agenda, though.
I asked for it to be on the agenda.
So it's not on the agenda. right?
Okay, the deputy mayor assured me it didn't have to be.
I know.
Okay.
It's not what? No, you need a final draft. I haven't seen the final draft.
This was sent out to the entire board on the 21st. The deputy mayor did request some changes with the attorney, and they were put in our mailbox on Friday, but we had already asked for this to go through, so we're moving forward with this one.
Point of order. Point of order. If you're gonna do something with the ethics board, you should probably evaluate its efficacy in the proper assembly that exists before you want anything and have it picked up. You should take it the next time and review the material I gave you.
Can I give you to read it, or would you like me to, sir?
I'm okay reading it, but I don't want a bunch of copies. You said there's a final copy?
No, this is the copy.
So-
This is the action plan that the attorney gave all of us on
The
October
attorney
21st.
sent a final draft after that.
Which we were not
Just-
given. So I didn't get it.
But it's out, it's in the office. I
Was
got
it?
it.
Okay, okay.
We're in all the mailboxes.
Is it close?
To be,
Yes, it is close to that. They don't want to pass the final one, they want to pass this. Read this one, because I don't care. I never was.
All right, then let's hold off to the next meeting until we're comfortable with it.
this is the action plan we would like to put forward as a board, sir.
Just keep in mind, that's not the final draft that the attorney sent.
Just look at it real quick. Just give me a second, I'm gonna read it.
Thank you.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Montgomery declaring to undertake certain steps towards effective governance. Whereas the proper operation of the village government requires that its officers be responsible to the people of the Village of Montgomery, that public officers maintain the highest standards of integrity and discharge faithful duties of their office, regardless of personal considerations, and that the public have confidence in their officers. Whereas for some time the Village Board of Trustees recognizes that it has not conducted itself in the highest standards and its actions have undermined the professional tone of the Board of Trustees to the detriment of our village. Therefore, there has been a hostile, insulting, and I have to stand up, please. There has been a hostile, insulting, and sarcastic behavior between the board members and with the public during board meetings, all of which are recorded online, causing damage to the Montgomery reputation. Whereas the community didn't elect each of the members of the board to argue with each other, it elected them to effect positive change for the village, one issue at a time. And whereas a complaint was lodged with the village ethics board by the village trustee against the mayor, alleging certain conduct that violated code of ethics, which the complaint resulted in certain recommendations and suggestions being issued by the ethics board for consideration by the board of trustees. Whereas the board of trustees wishes to take affirmative steps to change the current climate among the board members and implement the recommendations and suggestions of the ethics board. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the village board of trustees makes the following declaration with the goal of moving forward in a positive manner and in a unified effort to help restore the public's confidence in its elected officials. The Board of Trustees acknowledges that it would benefit from training by professionals in how to effectively work as a board together. The board believes that it will be money well spent to schedule this type of training for the entire board. The village clerk will contact the individual who has been recommended by the ethics board and this New York Conference of Mayors, NICOM, to provide such training. In addition to many other areas, the training shall focus on professional communications during meetings, in office, in emails or writings, or social media, or public listening and respecting the opinions of the board members and the public, refraining from making any personal, harassing, or disparaging remarks towards other board members. Each board member is committed to listening and being more open to recommendations of other board members to the public, being more patient with fellow board members and respecting different opinions. Diverse viewpoints on boards are to be welcomed. Each of the board members deserves respect, and board member roles of shedding light on areas in need improvement in both important and necessary. Refraining from purposely provoking conflict with other board members and the public. In an attempt to restore confidence, the Board of Trustees, the community deserves an apology from the entire Board of Trustees, which is hereby issued. That the handbook of policies and procedures be expanded, such as hiring practices for summer employment and non-union job posting procedures in order to clarify the public's questioning regarding village operations further. I don't know how the final one is. I think this pretty much sums it all up. We're not here, we're not elected to be the Jerry Springer show. It goes both ways too. We have audience members who antagonize us, get us going. And that's not fair either. This is a tough job for all of us to do up here. The pay stinks, and I don't think any of us do it for the pay. I don't think any of us in here to destroy the village. There'll be mayors and trustees long after here. But we gotta make this thing great. We gotta make this thing great. Montgomery Village is a great place to live and raise a family. We don't have to make Montgomery great again. It already is. So if the final copy is close to this, I'm okay with it. That's me. I gotta stand that. I still gotta stand that.
You just have to read the last sentence.
What's the last one say?
Okay, resolve that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Okay.
All
right, make a motion.
I'd like to make that motion, please.
Second?
I'll second.
Steve?
Do we have any more discussion on it?
My only discussion is that I'm abstaining from the vote, because this is not the resolution that was intended to be voted on.
The only difference was, would you say that there was four of us on there?
I totally respect it.
Okay, I'm just giving.
I totally respect it. It's just we gotta,
And I respect
Tony, I respect it. We just gotta stop this clown show. That's it.
Thank you.
And
All right.
the ethics
Steven.
board. And, sorry, we're having a discussion? I'm sorry. Are we able to discuss?
No, what's wrong with discussing? Right?
want to say that the ethics board findings, all of this happened before I was a trustee, but I'm willing to take on these same efforts as the previous board and willing to work together to have it and everything. So like we said, is this take effect immediately and then have the ethics board findings, we have to accept them, correct? We have to accept them as part of the resolution. This is the action plan that we're taking from the findings.
Yes.
So do we have to accept the docket that we read? Is my question.
They lost me on that. We're voting on
Yeah, we're
this.
voting on it.
Okay. I had a question, I'm sorry, I thought we were in discussion.
Aye.
Opinion.
Abstain.
Me. I guess I have to abstain on this. Cynthia.
Aye.
I'll explain further to this. There's a complaint filed against me. Neither one of us can vote on this.
We can vote.
Well,
We can.
we're advised not to. We're advised not to. Okay, with all the smoke cleared and stuff like that, I can't vote on it, but I sure can vote on it. Leave it like that.
You can vote on it.
Yes. Attorneys did agree that you can.
He told us not to. He told us not to, okay? He told us not to. But again, I agree with this, I just can't vote on it. So, let's just say, let's get along, folks. All right. Next up.
I can't believe I left that open for the right thing to be done, and this is determined where we sit. I wish I was surprised. Yeah, Darlene wants to abstain, so.
it didn't pass.
I announced that at the very beginning.
And
And I gave you reasons why.
You
Do it just to be fun.
Point of argument? It's the entire purpose.
Those microphones don't work, just so you know.
Same.
I got a hearing problem, that's why I sit way back. So
I said there's no point in arguing because it's over.
Okay, it didn't get passed, whatever, let's just go by what it's here, please. All right, ready to go.
My update is on the traffic study from the Orange County Planner. We are closer to getting our on-call transportation consultant RFP out on the street, and I hope to have a firm on board in February or March of 2026. Once we have them on board, we can task them with starting the traffic study. Respectfully, I appreciate all the work that's being done, but I'm going to follow up on this immediately because that's an unacceptable answer to me as a resident and as an elected official. I've been getting the same update since August, and prior to that it was going to be spring, so I'm going to go to the next legislative meeting and ask what's taking so long. The funds are there, they've been released, they've been allocated. We're supposed to be doing a comprehensive traffic study. We are entertaining 3 humongous projects, KSH being one of them, Sheffield Gardens being another one of them, and the Quick Check. So all of those affect our traffic flow just as much as deciding to put a new road in the park. So we need to look at all of those things cumulatively. I think it's long overdue, and the state of our roads suggests that and is an example of that, so I'm going to follow up on that as well. We do have a letter writing and petition campaign started just this week with the support of Senator Rollison and Assemblyman Marr. I also just got the support formally from John Ravella, who's our Orange County legislator, and Ron Feller, and I would hope that former Senator Skoufis of this area would also support that as well. Walt Hookey is passing petitions around, and the letters will be passed around, I think, door to door, or we can leave them at some local places for people to pick up and mail in, so that we're literally just peppering the state with our complaints, which I think is appropriate at this time. I attended the Wacko River Watershed Alliance with other local officials and community members, and the CSA was there. It was a very informative session, and it also was embarrassing to me how little work we've actually done. There's a few people doing a lot of work. There's a lot of people not doing any work to try to protect a resource that not a lot of places are lucky enough to have. So I do have some information I'm going to ask the clerk to copy and put in everybody's box to review. There are municipal memberships and different information that we can look at as to how we can be part of the solution of keeping the water clean. And I think that's important, and it goes hand in hand with looking at our water treatment plant upgrades in the future. The food bank is also doing a holiday distribution on the 22nd. I will be there giving away meals. I've also been getting questions from residents, especially this time of year, what the age is. I guess there's not a lot of clarification of that on volunteers for the food pantry, so I'll clarify that with their director while I'm there and get back to everybody. The grants, we have the invasive species grant that Mark has been taking lead on, the New York Forward grant, which I think we're due for an update on. Hopefully we can get that at the next meeting.
It'll probably be mid-December for
I got it,
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, thank you. And we're talking about possibly having a new grant writing process, so more to come on that. Old business, I'm glad to see it on the agenda, but there's a lot of resident concerns and a lot of things that are being requested to be on the agenda that are not. And I just wanted to point out that they are still, if they're not acknowledged on this agenda, hopefully they will be in the future, and they are still being talked about behind the scenes, so I apologize for that. But there was bathroom issues by the pleasure grounds, and why are they always closed, and why can't we make sure that they're open for people? It really hinders the enjoyment of that area of the park. The road through the park, traffic, hydrants, speed limit on the roads, procedure, drugs on Taft, Charles, and Bachelor Street. And we've heard from Charlie Shields, Ann Kennedy, Karen Cross, Rita Santos, Bob Buki, Don Berger, Mark Procheski, Mike Han, Helen Finn, Paula Festora, Jenny Kohler, and more. And we have not been clear about getting back to them. So I think Randy Wilbur actually suggested like a year ago that we make sure that we have a system for updating and answering these questions. So I'd like to see that on the next agenda.
Can I just,
Hold on one second.
the background noise will be coming.
Yeah, excuse me, our little friends that are up top, you are being picked up by the microphone for all the world to hear. So we could ask you to come back down and join us. Thank you.
Point of order. Randy, I'm going to set this on this side if anybody wants to sign a petition.
Thank you, Tom.
All right?
I don't know if I'm finished.
I'm going to get in trouble if I don't go back and say something I forgot. The Central Scholarship Council Craft Fair is this weekend on Saturday. It starts at 10 and goes to 4. So go Christmas.
She'd like to speak.
Point of order.
I don't think we're there yet.
Thank you. Okay, going back with the Route 211, Brian Moore contacted me, and he asked me about doing this petition, and we discussed it, about getting signatures. I'm going to have one posted down in Village Hall. So we need these signatures beginning to go to Albany. The governor just approved $800 million, I think it was yesterday, she approved it for road work throughout the state. So let's see if we can get a piece of that. Now, as far as work, or as far as volunteering and stuff like that, I need you guys to help us out on volunteers. I ask you when I do things, or flags and stuff like that. Let's all get together and work together. Love with people. It's a tough job for a part-time position. I'm down there all the time. Darlene's down there even more than I, and I get a lot of meetings. A lot of meetings I didn't bring up here. A lot of stuff I get. I get a lot of information. I was on vacation. I was stopping in mayor's offices and supervisors' offices and something called president. One village has this thing called president, and finding out information. So, our fire hydrants have all been serviced and they've been greased so they can take the caps off real quick. I have been made an American Legion member. I'm a member of the American Legion. I didn't want to. They contacted me, said I wasn't in the service, but they contacted me and paid for the first year because my relatives were in the military and my father's on the honor flight film. So I said, okay, but I wasn't in the military. But they still made me an American Legion member. So I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. But it was questions. It was questions. Am I an American Legion member? I don't need to fabricate my resume. I have a very, very, very good resume. So, but I'm proud that they did that to me. Also, I'm on the, I mentioned this, some people may know this, I'm on the county executives team for getting the Polar Express and Thomas the Tank engines to come into the village like Kingston has. He says it's going to happen. I've known this guy since he's 19 years old, but I've never seen him not do something. So that would be really good to have Thomas the Tank engine and the Polar Express come right here to the village. Bring a lot of stuff in here. I had a New York Forward meeting October 1st with Susan, and this is going to be cool. This is going to be quick. We think we're going to get the water tower right up there, the Montgomery water tower. It's been there since 1942 or 45. That would be absolutely beautiful. I was in Conway, South Carolina. They have it lit up. There's a couple of towers in New Jersey that are lit up. It's beautiful. We should be able, you can see that through all of the place. It's not that expensive. Light it up and change the colors to the season. I have a donation here from Helen Finn. She dropped this off at my house. Her mother used to live on Union Street. I don't know what her maiden name is. But there's a lot of pictures of the village. But here there's a bar of soap. Darlene thinks it's when we were, 100 years old or something like that? Something like that. So this is going to be put in the museum with these pictures and stuff. Barbara Conway's given us stuff in the past, and she's given me stuff for just my collection. So I'm going to put that in here. Anybody's welcome to look at it. Thank you, Helen Finn. I did flags in Veterans Corners. Wasn't out there that long, maybe an hour, maybe under an hour. It was very cold, but I filled up the poles with it, and a lot of them were taken. And I hope people displaying in front of the house. I have a big sign that was made up there that says, "Please honor a vet, take a free flag." And that was nice. We had the veterans luncheon down here. That was incredible. That was really, really incredible. There were some VIPs here, but it's not about them. It's about the veterans. And that was really, really nice. Rob Salvin gave an Eagle Scout $1,000 donation that he had promised in the past. He gave it the other day for an Eagle Scout. He's doing different things all around the village. And this is sad. November 16th was the anniversary, 36 years of East Coldham falling down. My daughter's classroom was right over that. So, February 22nd, I will be at the food bank also. I was contacted by them, volunteer help. Food bank had a water break the other day. This shows you how good of a neighbor they were. They had a water main break. It was flooding the whole place. Jake called me, told me about it. How fast did they take care of it?
Right away. I think within 2 hours they had it fixed.
They have great memories. I know the head of it personally. I know the head of the whole food bank, him personally from years ago. And I signed a grant for DARE today. So we're hoping that comes through. I think DARE is more important, and if you treat them now, hopefully there won't be any problems in the future. When we put a good foundation in, they're just saying no. At one time when the stuff was pushed their way, maybe they'll just remember just saying no. And that's it. That's it. All right, we open the floor to. Oh, department. I'm sorry. I'm thinking it's. Go ahead. Jake, you want to look at that?
I was going to say, you're pretty much done, right, Joe? Or?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
Go ahead, finish
Okay.
up.
So September we had just around 300 bloggers for the month, which was nice. The fall fall festival, the touch truck, and the trunk or treats events we had went off well without any issues. We're currently training the entire department on the new record management system, which I haven't talked to you about yet. That's what we're changing to next year. paid for by the county, so it's a bonus for us, it's just a payment we'd like to get up and running. If everyone remembers when the marshals hit a certain house in the village, they were looking for somebody. And one night, Sergeant Blackford and Officer Lynch got some intel that they were still at the house. They waited on there and they were able to locate this subject that was wanted by the marshals and turn them over to them. Both the current provisional sergeants did pass their sergeant's exams, a 90 and an 85 respectively, so very good scores on that. We did have DCJS come down to recertify us, pretty much as a police department, to certify that we are doing certain standards the correct way. Passed that with flying colors. It was actually a good trial run for accreditation. So all those standards are going to be them plus an additional 110 that we'll have to provide for accreditation. So 2 out of the way.
And Joe, if you get accreditation, your insurance still goes down if you didn't pass.
That's what they say. All right, we did receive an additional funding for a grant this year for high visibility from Stop DWI from the county, so it's an additional $2,000. For holidays, we'll be able to put an additional officer on that will be reimbursed to the village. And we applied for a Garrisinis grant for an AED, which hopefully will come through. Just a couple other things. Did you guys get the email I sent you with the subject that saw someone pass a bus? Okay, so during one of the school hours, during crossing, a vehicle had passed a stopped school bus with a stop sign out. Sergeant Koldenbach saw it happen, turned around, went and got the person, and did whatever he had to do with it. I got an email from a village resident saying how they appreciated it, and I'll send it to you guys again if you want to read it. It's kind of long, so I don't want to read it all here.
No, yes. I'm okay to read it if you want.
Okay.
Read it.
All right. Good evening, Chief. I just wanted to bring to your attention an incident that occurred today, October 30th, at approximately 3:15 p.m. I was parked on Union Street outside of MES to pick up my son. I watched as a school bus stopped at Union and River to let students off. Just as it activated its stop signs / red lights, I observed a Subaru wagon pass in the opposite direction. The officer who was there to assist in crossing witnessed this and immediately checked with the bus driver. He then got into a patrol vehicle and proceeded to catch up with the vehicle. As I left the school with my son, I thanked the officer. He doesn't know his name. It was a helpless feeling to watch that happen, and thankfully nobody was hurt. But his officer's quick reaction and enforcement was impressive. His actions were further reassurance that my family is in good hands in our village. Just wanted to say thank you to you and your officers. You are all very much appreciated. Stay safe and happy Halloween.
Good. Thanks, Joe.
And then there was one final thing I just wanted to respond to. I believe it was Ms. Kohler from last meeting read a very nicely worded response about some things going on in the village. I just wanted to let her know and everyone else know that we do hear the concerns. We are paying attention to them. There's a lot of stuff going on that obviously you don't see, but outside of the legal ramifications for drug addiction and drug usage, we do also partner with Hope's Not Handcuffs. So if anyone does need assistance and they're willing to come down and get the help, we can set them up with a program to hopefully get them set up for a better trajectory in life. There was also, I believe, an issue with the dog that may have been loose. We do work with the ACO from the town on that, and when appropriate, we are issuing leash law violations, which there's, I believe, a couple in the up at the court right now being dealt with. And then I think there was also community engagement education, which, as the mayor said, we do have the DARE program. Sergeant Koldenbach runs that for MES, and he also co-runs it with Officer Greeny for us, but Sergeant Greeny from the town for the middle school as well. So we do have programs that are teaching the younger generation about drug awareness and all that, and it's honestly a lot better than DARE was when I was a kid. But these conversations need to continue past that. They got to happen in your house. They got to happen with your friends, your family, to give these people the best possible chance that they have. And anyone who has any ideas or just, any information or, wants to work with us, help us, contact myself or anyone at the station. We'll see what we can do. That's all I got.
And to add to what Joe's saying too, the school buses now that are out there from First June are all equipped with these cameras. So if you pass the stop sign, you're going to get a summons. Thank you. Jake?
Sorry, can I have a question? Sorry, it also came up in the public about noise ordinance.
Yes.
What the hours were. Did we get clarification on that from the public?
Was that in which meeting was that? I believe, I have to check the exact hours. I think it's 9 p.m. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
But we
Thank you.
have
I thought it was 10 p.m. myself.
I don't have it.
Yeah, 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. is what I grew up with.
Is that reference to the,
Village resident asked me.
was that reference to what we were talking about?
Well, obviously we have the noise ordinance. We have the noise, the decibel reader. We have used it in the past. I mean, if anyone is hearing any noises that they think is past the decibel reading, just give us a call. I mean, we have everything we need to take a reading on it. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mine's a lot simpler than Joe's. Thank God. As far as like water, we pumped 313,000 gallons last month. Sewer, we let out, or we took in 230,000. Garbage, we did 123.63 tons of garbage in the month of October. Recyclables, we did 25.17 tons. Recyclables are going up $10 a ton as of January 1st, 2026. I had Stephanie put a call in to IWS, is where we take the garbage, to see if they have any thoughts on increase or anything. At this time, nobody can answer that. So, but more than likely, being that recyclables went up, more than likely garbage is going to go up. And that's really all I have on that, other than the road.
We still have a stop order on the road.
I believe I do, yes. Which Bruce pointed out to me that the fire chief, the fire code official has authorization over everybody, over the board, over the mayor, and if he feels that this is a threat to life or a safety issue, he can override any decision made. So on that note, we all know it's an issue down there. It's a safety issue in the summertime with only one egress. This was something that was talked about years ago. I believe Darlene found minutes.
Back in the minutes, in the 50s.
In the 50s.
That street was supposed to go all the way from Charles Street to River Street.
Yes,
That
it
was
was
the
going to
original
go
plan.
all the way to River Street.
Yeah, that was the original plan.
So, this isn't something that's new. It's just something that's been kind of put on the back burner. Unfortunately, it's getting time where we need another address to the park.
Well, actually, in the 50s, even if they talked about it, we didn't own that property. The village did not own that property. It was, I have the deed from the county here that shows that it wasn't even given to the village. It was given in 1998 for $10. So we didn't even own that road until 1998. And once it was deemed a park, all roads are null and void. I have this information.
Well, if this is in a park, it takes an act of legislature. So we've got the ordinances, it takes an act of legislature. It has to go to the New York State legislature for you to put a road through an existing park.
Okay. So that's going to be something the board has to...
We're kind of clapping and cheering for this. The bottom line is safety.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Nobody's trying to take anybody's road away. It's safety. So we're operating according to what we're hearing about safety. That's what I'm looking at. That's like clapping like, okay, we didn't have little fire hydrants, we'll hold them off. This is a safety issue. Personally, I didn't know about this. It came up. So let's not cheer for a while. We got away with safety.
Fire inspector asked you to put the road in?
I don't know.
So how did the road get by that fifth line?
Let's find out here.
As far as putting the road in, the road's not in.
Are the drugs on Marion Court a safety issue too?
Yeah,
Is that a safety issue?
obviously.
Don't seem to want to talk about that.
If there was a street through there, then the police would be able to patrol it.
It doesn't matter, you
The
can't.
police can control that at any time.
Once it was designated as a park, we can't touch it without an act of legislature. This is not an issue for Jake. This is not an issue for the
I do
park.
have the
This is part of
documentation,
a
and I
park.
can email it out to
You can't take it back.
also, but
I don't know an act of legislation for roads. I would be happy with just a way of, I've heard people are driving through it anyway.
All right, there's too much crosstalk. Listen to the mayor.
So here's the thing, I would be happy with it, if we had to get in there, we get in there. Your rubber cones or whatever, the fire truck can run over them, I don't care. I just want to be able to get in and out. So it came to me, I didn't even know about this, Ted, you're in, just like the fire hydrants, Ted, you're in, they're not working. Let's fix it.
You didn't know there was a road being put in, or you didn't know it was an issue?
I didn't know it was an issue, and I was on the board prior to this, I had no idea. I heard towards the end of the last mayor's term that they were gonna name it after the former DPW superintendent. I remember hearing that, they were gonna put a road in and they were gonna name it after Buddy Nelson. It's like, okay, that's what I heard. So then now it comes into this.
did you instruct them to put the road in?
They instruct them to put
The
the road in.
DPW and, yeah,
To
because
make it safe, to make it safe. Whatever had to be done, put down item 4 or
but
whatever.
it's not, you know, but you understand it's not a road anymore because it's part of a park, so there's no road anymore.
When you're talking about the 40s, it wasn't a park. So that you can't look at those because it was a different comprehensive
It
plan.
was handed to me now, I don't want to the past.
Right, it's a
If we
park.
ever landed a helicopter because somebody was hurt, you landed right in the middle of the baseball field. I've done that before, okay? You land helicopters where they need to be. You don't designate it a helipad. It has to be able to be, emergency vehicles have to be in or out. I don't care if it's blacktop with lanes down it, whatever, it's gotta be for an emergency. If we don't use it as a main road, I'm okay with that, but it's gotta be, hey, where do we go? That road is open right there. That's it, that's all.
But
I'm saying.
fire has to designate that they need that.
Yeah, well, let's see when they.
Or we
let's
have to
see.
talk
I
about
disagree
it.
with you on
Yeah, well, hey,
But they didn't.
it came to me.
You already dug it. You already started work on it.
Without checking with the board, that's
We
why
didn't
we
take
did
down
it.
trees, we didn't take out grass,
They
we
have
didn't
trees
move earth.
taken down, yeah.
Did we move earth? Did we take down trees? Before we
Yeah,
talked
trees
about
are
it as a
taken down.
board.
Before we even talked about it.
Taken down.
There's also a road proposed from the top of Viking Heights all the way through to 211, which now would be grand, or all the way down to 17K to skip 211. Do we take the house down that's sitting there that they built in front of that roadway?
Okay,
No.
let's put it this way. We don't do anything. Something happens.
You have to
Something
follow
happens.
procedure. We have to discuss these things as a board. That is procedure.
It's also, if Jake says it's needed, listen, the bottom line is, it's again, the fire hydrants. Well, let's sit here and think about, well, let's float a bond, well, let's do this. It's handed to me, nobody else.
You sat in this seat for 12 years, more than
Please
that.
don't talk nasty.
You sat in this
And you
board,
sat in this
and you
seat
sat in
for
the seat,
2
and
years.
you will not allow anybody to participate in the work. So either you chose not to do the work, or Steve was a tyrant and he wouldn't let you in which case you would be doing better now, but you are not. You're excluding people on purpose and aren't allowed to do the work, so you're not choosing to even do better or course correct.
And you finish? And
I'll let you know.
What?
Jeez. You talk to me in such a condescending
I'm
and
sitting
rude
here
way, like you are in charge of me. I'm
Just had a huge ethics conversation.
You cannot say, you were handed this, you were handed this, you were handed this, you were handed this. No conversation.
So much for the thing, for all of us getting along. So much for all of us getting along here, folks.
Okay,
Don't talk to me.
Mayor Henry,
Don't call me, I'm your
you
dad.
sat on this
I'm not gonna
board
listen to you.
in this situation You were not handed anything. You sat here and you had a vote, and you had a say, and you had a part in the discussion, and you chose not to do it. So you were not handed all of these things. And if you were, then I ask you to do better. I'm asking you to do better. If you were handed this mess,
so much for all of us being
if you were handed this mess, then you would be including us in it.
So much for all of us being here. Bottom line is, folks, there was an emergency situation pointed towards me. I took action.
What was
Just
the
like
emergency
fire
situation?
hydrant. I took action. The fire
What was the emergency?
I took action. Then it was, we'll vote for it, we'll vote against it, and we'll vote it again. We still have 3 hydrants that are not fixed because we're not coming up with the money. Okay? You've been here 3 years. Don't point the finger to me. That road will go there if they say it has to go there. I don't care.
Who is they?
I don't care.
No, it's a,
People who
who
supervise me.
Doesn't have the authority to do it.
Joanne, I spoke to you. I spoke to you. You
I
gave me
raised
no
this little
call.
back here. I said it had to
I
go there.
spoke to you.
What emergency? I was crying hysterical.
I am not
What
voting
the
to
traffic
make it.
now, and everybody, the head of the Little League told you that is more dangerous than what they had. The head of the Little League told me. That's what they do. I was talking to all the ladies.
I am not well, first of all, I didn't suggest anything. It came to me, and I made a decision. I have no problem with it not being a main
They were
road.
supposed to put it in the back, and I already called the police, and they didn't even get tickets out when they parked for that event, all over my property. And the dogs are walking on the property now. And then they got the
I'm hearing
kids
so
hanging
much
out there,
about
the
this.
truck center.
I am hearing so much about this, that your pool was on the property.
Okay.
Oh, right, that's
Excuse
up
me,
25
I'm
years.
talking now.
25 years.
I'm talking now.
You have to
And
control
they
I'm
put it on
talking
now.
now. So now it comes to this. Again, I have no idea about this. It was supposed to happen before I became the mayor. They were gonna make it this highway. I don't care.
Like she
if
said,
it's-
you were on the board, that's an excuse.
And she was on the board too.
You were on longer.
That doesn't make a difference.
Yes,
I
it
didn't know
does.
about it. I
You're
did
making
not know
excuses.
about it.
We
I did
have
not
to
know
blame it
about
on
it.
her. When I said it might not be.
Stop. Okay, so here we go. What?
Only because I'm getting complaints, people are not hearing me because the public's over speaking, you guys are over speaking.
Yeah.
We have to finish here, we will open it up for
Yeah,
public portion
okay.
when he does.
Again.
1 minute apiece, but please, we
You're
have
supposed to
to.
be getting along here. Go on. Next.
So we'll look into it. If it has to go to legislator or whatever, we'll look into it and we'll see what has to be done if it can be done the proper way.
I thought Bruce already spoke to the fire department. Bruce, did you not have something you were gonna say at this meeting?
He didn't speak to the fire department. He's the code enforcer for fire.
It's all through the fire, it's public safety, fire code, building code, it's all for public safety.
But not for roads. Yeah, not New York State law.
Well, it's for roads. It
Not for
includes
roads, you are not.
No, it doesn't say
It is
roads.
at the will of the
It says
board.
access for roads for emergency vehicles. Yep.
What buildings are they servicing in that area? What emergency situation do we have? What buildings are they servicing? There's nothing there.
We only have really one
There's 2
way
Little
in.
League fields.
There's only really one way in right now, Bridge Street.
It's not serving building, it's pickleball down there, it's the trail, there's a lot of.
The dog
I was just informed that not too long ago, pickleball, the 2 kids almost got run over.
Let's say roads on there.
So, did the
Thank you.
fire inspector ask?
Do you want a copy of this?
Actually, yes, can I?
Well, I can give you one, too. I mean, you want to use.
Doesn't matter. Can I have these, or- Thank you.
She just said,
One question I
asked, which fire inspector asked for this to be put in?
How did you come about this? It came to me that you need a road down there. I said, well, whatever has to happen, happen. I am not
Who said they needed a road?
You started the work, yes, but Mike is saying it was brought to him. Who brought the issue, is what I'm asking. What made it such an emergency?
You're saying that fire safety has
There's
a lot of things involved down there. You've got the drug situation that you've had down on that road, it's just was out of control between the police department, the fire department, and myself. We closed the house up, it's still closed up. It's gonna be quite a while before that gets opened up again, and I had talked to the owner, that stuff is over with. That's done. So the guy that lived
How
there
do we draw a
before,
line
he's
from
facing
that to
prison
trees
time.
being ripped out of the ground?
Excuse me?
How do we draw a line from that to trees being ripped out of the ground? What we're worried, how did
Yeah,
it
and
get
as far
started?
as the road's concerned, I talked to Jake, the road, there's a possibility of the road going around the back of the field. No one plays down there. That's around the back of the field, coming around, that's where the mulch and all the other stuff is, right?
And who's
I think-
engineering it?
I can make, why does it need to be engineered?
Nothing has to happen. I gave them the documents, I will give it to the rest of the board. Once it was given to the village as a park, it has to remain a park.
That is New York State law.
That is 100%, and that law is in there.
Can't take part of it.
So, at this point, I'd like to make a motion to have the road put back the way it was, to plant the trees and to create.
I second.
And
To stop that go, so that's a second for discussion, we can
well,
discuss
I'm
it.
not gonna override safety. If you guys feel that it's a safety issue, then I don't care if you put something
Prove
there,
it.
fence or whatever.
Show the traffic study that provides the interest that says it's a safety issue.
Didn't two kids almost get ran over when they were at park?
So you could put in a road between two little league fields is gonna make less
Do
of
you ever
that.
go to Maybrook
All right,
and see
it's
how
not
the
public
road goes right through the park?
This is a big entry for an ambulance, but,
We're supposed to go with that.
On the road.
huh?
So,
Did you see how many cars they got last weekend? The kids that are gonna get killed are the ones on the road.
We have a motion on the floor for discussion, and we have to keep order in accordance with the decorum rules that we have approved as a board, or we need to take a minute.
Do you see this? We agreed on this. You broke it right away. You called me down.
you did not.
You called me
Being
down.
condescending and
Nobody
authoritarian.
condescending to you. Move on, let's go.
I broke it.
Let's go, this is crazy. Move
You're
on.
trying to
Let's
behave.
go, next up. What are we on to
We
now?
have a motion seconded on the floor for discussion, you have to call for a vote.
I don't even know what we're doing, we're so far.
I know,
we got
which is why you should resign.
I made a motion to have the road put back to its original, to plant the trees and to create the berm into the park, turn it back into the park, please.
What I would like to do is have
It's already
some
been
sort of,
seconded.
what I would like to have is some sort of way that an ambulance or a fire truck can get in there quick without coming down here with cars parked all over the place, double parked or whatever, and get down there.
Then I suggest
There
it
has to
should
be
have
a
been
way
open
for
to
them to
conversation
get
so
back
that they
there.
discuss it and come up with one time.
There has to be a way for them to get back over
Have the
here.
police ticket it,
I
parking.
would like to amend the motion to set a public hearing date to discuss it and look at the laws and look at what we should be doing and have public comment and input, and then we can move forward.
If you're worried about the blacktop on having a road and the guards on the road and the edge of the road and everything else, you can take and put a road underneath the grass surface so vehicles can drive there.
It's a park.
Actually, there's a million
There is
ways
a
to
way
do
of
it.
doing
it.
Everybody wants everybody to
You
be
don't
safe.
understand, what did I just say? I just said, we're not putting a road through here, I said there's an option.
You wanna rip up the turf to put concrete underneath it, and that's gonna be safe for the kids.
It's not gonna be concrete.
Not concrete,
It's still gotta rip up the turf first.
and you put it down again.
I already have a motion to put
Well,
it back there.
okay,
I'd like
I'm just trying to do
amend the
it.
motion to have a public hearing and consider the laws that we have to abide by and create a sense of transparency and procedure for the board and for the public. And then we can move forward because everybody wants everyone to be safe, obviously.
I'll amend that motion because then I can send all the documentation out to the board. I'm okay with that.
Whatever you want to do. You brought something in front of me, it was it's a safety issue, I'm gonna take action on it. I think I approved it with the fire hydrant. Do it immediately. I don't need blacktop, I don't need cement, just maybe a fence that opens quick, the truck can get in there, whatever has to happen. It's not gonna be a thoroughfare back and forth. It's just in the event something happens, because I've been here when this road is all backed up. This is not Highway 12 and the Outer Banks, there's other ways to come in and out.
Yeah, multiple other ways that an engineer can look at and say, this is probably the
This
best
all
one.
costs
This is-
money. If we just go through, and Darlene researched it,
There should not be anything being done to that before we
No,
move
I
forward.
researched it.
New York Forward should complete their work before we even discuss
Well,
doing anything
you know
else
what,
to the park.
if you keep pushing the can down, kicking the can down the road,
Well,
we're willing to say.
Steve, I would think if they're gonna redesign all the fields, if the road's there, then they can redesign.
You obviously don't know what the field design was, because it's supposed to be one turf field in that section, so you can't put a road through the middle of the field.
You're absolutely right, I haven't
Which is
seen
why my
anything.
point was, why don't we wait till they finish their work before we go tearing up the park?
Stephen, have you ever once responded to a kid injured or something like that, and there's no road to get there? You do your best you can to get
Everybody
in there.
wants everyone to be safe.
Okay, so-
Everyone wants safe enjoyment of this village. We all love it. I
I know
can't
that.
stand up here enough and say it again and again and again. It doesn't matter who likes who and who agrees with what. We all want everyone to be safe and enjoy this village. That's why we're here. But you have to have some procedure and some precedent. We
If
have
that was
to.
the case,
These discussions
if
were
that was
clearly
the
had
case-
without everyone at the table.
if that was the case, 3 fire hydrants wouldn't be out.
Well, common sense would prevail that putting a road between two Little League fields with less than 5 feet on either side is going to be a less safe option than what we have.
It's not, it's not an emergency.
It's not up to the first responders.
All right, well, you know what,
It's
again,
up
came
for
to
you
me.
to
Let's go.
So we have a little vote.
Public hearing.
Can we do it for the
He's, we can have to utilize him to post it while he's still sorting the bus. Yeah.
This wasn't on the agenda or anything like that.
Deputy Mayor brought up a good point that if we do a public meeting for the next meeting, it won't get in the newspaper in time. And then December 19th, we don't do anything as a board. Can I have clarification on that? Because I'm there.
The last meeting in December, the
Okay.
only business we conduct are things that can't wait until 1st of January, because it's the holiday meeting, and we do the awards for the house decorating.
I'll make it known that God forbid anything happens. I think that should be some way of cleaning out there. It doesn't have to be a holiday or anything, it's gotta be maybe cones that can be knocked down, but there's gotta be another entertainment measure. That's what I say, I'm 1 of 5 people on this thing.
And we don't know where New York Forward has planned the supposed
Well,
parking
then why
lot.
don't we wait till New York Forward, we'll leave it open, and then God forbid anything happens, oh well, you know, and maybe New York Forward can get us 3 more fire hydrants.
I have the utmost faith and respect in our first responders, that the police, the fire department, and the EMS workers will get wherever they need to
Oh,
get.
they
whether
will.
they have
We
to
can
follow
get 70
protocol.
trucks in there for touch a truck, and we can't get a fire engine across there. Come on.
For 42 years I did that, and I got
So
where I
let's
had to
then
get
take for the
to.
public hearing and move on to the additional
So,
village
for-
business.
When can we set the public? So, meeting.
I would have to get at least 2 weeks, because right now the paper's pretty full. We just had an issue trying to get something in. So I would need to have a public notice done. I'll work with Will to get that done. Earliest would probably be targeted the 16th or the 17th.
Of December? Okay. We don't lose these. That's the clerk.
Or the January, the
What's
next.
the first meeting yet? January.
January 6th.
6.
January 6th.
6 is the first Tuesday in January.
So the stop order will continue through.
Continue,
Yeah.
yep.
Yes.
So the motion is to set a public hearing for January 6th. At what time?
6:30?
Mhm. All right, do we need to vote on that?
Yes.
So I have Cynthia motion, Steve second, so we just need to vote.
Steve?
Aye.
Randy? Steve, aye. Chloe? Cynthia?
Aye.
Okay.
And we also have to go over this before we move on, the email from Joe McKay about the projects that are coming before the planning board. Did everybody get a chance to read this today?
I think that he also said that they weren't,
No, he sent it to me today, and he asked me to schedule some meetings.
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay, we open it to.
Could you just repeat that date for January, because we couldn't hear it back here?
6th.
January 6th. Okay, thank you.
All right, we open it for 3 minutes. You go first, please.
I just wanted to.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Joanne Corso, my address is 10 Mary's Court.
Make sure it's on.
10 Mary's Court, Montgomery, New York. I just want to say a couple of things about the road. First of all, I know there was a plan to do the back, to put it in the back, which would make a lot more sense. Everybody's complaining because one of the kids are going to get hit when a car's going in there. If somebody goes in there a little, when it's a little dark, now I've already had problems all over the lawn, all over the down thing was, I had told police, they wouldn't do nothing. They were going to go find the people that parked there. Sorry. And then after that, there was all kids hanging out there. You're making the drug thing much better. Real good. Then I have people walking. I have pictures of all this, by the way. I can post them all. I posted the one picture online to show you how close the baseball field is. People are walking their dogs there now. It's really become disgusting. It really is. I can't even believe that they took those trees down. It was beautiful there. My lawn, I don't have a lawn anymore. It's just like, you might as well just say, you know, I really don't want it. I'm really upset about it. I just think you could have put it in the back. That was the original plan. I know that. I spoke to an ex-board member, and that's what they probably looked up. This had nothing to do with Marin's Court. And no one's going to go there. And there's no safety issue. Really, when there was a safety issue once, they landed the plane right close to my house. Listen, if it's a safety issue, you could go on my lawn if it's one person that you gotta save. I wouldn't care, you know? But to do this, you don't even know something's gonna happen, and you're destroying a whole town, a whole village. It looks bad. People coming over and saying, what? It looks bad. The sore eyes, they're saying. I have a petition, and there's petitions going around the school. The head of the Little League said it best. I can guarantee you what he said. I watched the board meeting. He said it all. It's horrible. So I really want you to think about that. There's enough petitions and signing going around in the schools. The teachers are helping me down my granddaughter's gymnastics. They're all talking about it. It's bad. Okay? I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evening, Fred Flood, town member. I'm a legitimate member of the American Legion, Post 521. I earned that honor by serving 2 years active duty in the Army and 4 years in reserve status. In the aftermath of your last announcement, Mike, several weeks ago, several questions were raised by members. I asked an executive member of the board, and he stated, we didn't vote on that. Mark Mayer, the commander, then put out an email, group email. He stated unequivocally that you are not a member of the American Legion, that you are a member of the Sons of the American Legion. There's a big difference. I'd ask you to clarify your status with Mark because someone is giving out false information. We would appreciate it. Thank you.
This is happy and awesome. One of those, would you do?
Thank you, Will.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Walt Mahookie, 99 Union Street. Before I start, I want to thank you for the microphones. I've been talking about these things for years, and I genuinely appreciate it. Tonight, I'd like to thank everyone responsible for finally getting this petition in our hands. Don Berger, Mike Hemberry, all members of this board, Village of Montgomery DPW, Steve Brescia, Rob Rollison, Brian Marr. I look forward to working with everyone on this. I've been working on this for several years, emailing and calling elected officials, speaking at these meetings, taking pictures and videos of our enormous potholes in the pouring rain, and researching New York State DOT policies. On Thursday, November 13th, our State Assemblyman Brian Maher posted the link to the final online petition on his Facebook page. I provided a copy for each of you if you haven't already seen it. And it states, petition to support the resurfacing of Route 211. Assemblyman Brian Maher is calling on all town and village of Montgomery residents to sign his petition to ensure the New York State Department of Transportation prioritizes the repaving of Route 211 from Dunn Road to Ward Street in the village and town of Montgomery. We're advocating that this project be fully funded in 2026. This road has become increasingly unsafe for drivers, residents, and local businesses. New York State Route 211 is part of the Village of Montgomery Historical District. Union Street is the pulse of the greater Montgomery community and home to Montgomery Elementary School and countless local businesses. This repaving project is an essential upgrade to the heart of our community infrastructure. This joint petition will be delivered to the New York State Department of Transportation on behalf of Assemblyman Brian Maher, Senator Rob Rollison, Town of Montgomery Supervisor Steve Brescia, and Village of Montgomery Mayor Mike Henry. I'd like to thank the Village of Montgomery Mayor and his board for this process with the formal resolution requesting the New York State DOT prioritize this essential repaving project. This portion of Route 211 supports one of the largest economic corridors in Orange County and New York State and must prioritize maintenance. I'd like to thank the Village of Montgomery Mayor and board for working with my office, this is all Brian's statement still, to start this process with a formal resolution requesting the New York State DOT prioritize this essential repaving project. It says sign below. So that's what's there. This is, end quote. I look forward to seeing it posted here in the Village Hall on the Village website. And additionally, I ask that all of you share it with your own social media, if you have social media, with your friends and family, and bring it up at Thanksgiving. It's a nice, thing to talk about. As Brian mentioned in his Facebook post, I'll be going door to door to get signatures. I've got lots of these. I invite anyone in the village and town to come with me or go on your own.
30 seconds.
Okay, thanks. From Governor Hochul's press conference on 10/22, she states she's striving for our roads to be the best, the safest, and the smoothest. Well, in front of my house, they're not. This project will include 4,000 miles of roads, as Mike talked about earlier. Our 1.3 miles should be part of that. From Dunn to 17K to 1.3, and we should work to her to include our little tiny bit in those 4,000. So, thanks.
Montgomery. I just want to answer one of the things that Mike said, the Mayor Mike, about the New York State and the $800 million. They've already put the list out, and most people have probably seen it because I did put it on the RPM site. There's only 2 roads in Orange County that's going to be done this year, and that's up in Blooming Grove. Boy, I wonder why that's getting done. And then Route 32 from 300 to the Ulster County border. No other roads. You can look at the site, look at the New York State DOT list, it's out. The other thing is that I have talked to the town planning board and the town board, and I'm asking this board, the only way to get New York State to act here in the town of Montgomery is say no to all development. And then you're going to see how fast Albany will move. Planning boards, shut it down. Don't give them a damn thing. And Mayor, instruct your planning board to do that. It's as simple as that. You just don't give them. If they're not going to take care of the infrastructure, all the taxes they claim that they pay, then we don't bill them. Simple. Lastly, I just want to talk about a few years ago, this board, excluding the new members of the board, bonded out for a parking lot up on 211. I think it was around $260,000 if I remember. 275.
Plus the legends.
Yeah. What's really funny about it, I was at meetings at the parking lot with you, Mike, and the mayor, Steve Brush at the time, and other members of the community, and we talked about what we're going to do to improve that parking lot. Well, pretty much nothing in all these years have been done. Not even blacktop. That was the first thing that was promised to be done on that, was to resurface that whole thing. Why is nothing being done to that parking lot? You don't even have a municipal sign up, municipal parking. You have nothing. Why not?
It's the one behind Copperfields.
No.
Why has nothing been done? Dead silence, that's a good boy.
Next.
Rita Sancho from 15 Shamrock Circle in Montgomery, town Montgomery. I was very excited when I heard that we might be getting our stuff back. And then I guess it wasn't voted for. So my question is, are we getting our stuff back or not? And I'm not sure, are those all of our files? I don't even really know. And we're still waiting for.
I was told to walk and look upstairs, and that's where I looked. The only other crate that's up there it's just the senior dining program.
So what's in the crate? This over here, this is the other part of the safe. Is that up there?
I don't know anything about the safe.
Well, right there. You don't know anything about the safe?
I can't see what you have there.
Oh, let me get it. That's the part we're missing. I was able to carry that out, but I was not able to carry that out.
That's upstairs. I did see that today.
Okay.
Yes,
we go back here. Hang on. Are we getting it back?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because I don't know whose property is what.
Well,
This is,
if
I'm
you
not
remember,
giving.
let me finish what I'm saying.
Where?
If you remember, there's a tag right on the safe, and it has our name on it. There's one also on the back that has our name on it. And you should have seen that when you were sitting there. I don't know why it's up there. It
I'm
was
not opening
downstairs.
this up again. I'm not
I want to
answering
know
this.
if we're getting, but it's our stuff. If I was your landscaper and you fired me, you wouldn't get to keep my lawnmower.
We didn't fire you and we didn't evict you. You keep
Well, whatever you did to us, if I was your
You should know that.
landscaper,
The
you
contract
could
was
not,
not renewed.
but you couldn't keep my lawnmower if I was your landscaper. What
There
makes you
is,
think
there
you can
is
keep our
discussion
safe?
who owns what. I'm not getting into this.
If we're
Keep going.
we're giving the
Keep
files
going.
back, Darlene got the files, can you just give the safe
What
back?
good is the door without the
Not
safe?
filed.
That's not
I'm
all
not getting into this with you. I'm not getting into this. Who-
Well, can I just ask, can the board at least vote on this?
No, I'm
To
not,
see if we
I'm
get our
not
stuff
giving you
back?
back. This is, something's going
Well,
on.
maybe I should call the police then again, because you have our stuff, it's like you stole it.
Nobody stole your stuff. We came into the office, we were looking at stuff here. The senior director called down and said, I've got something down here. And I
I make a
came
motion
down.
to.
No.
I make a motion I
We
make
are
a
not doing
motion
it.
to return the safe door along with the files to the senior.
No, we have the door, we have the door, we need the rest of the safe.
Then I make a
Why don't we motion make? We're not doing it now.
I
because
make a
there's-
motion
no.
to return the safe to the senior center advisory board with the files that are sitting behind it.
You do not know who owns what.
Is somebody
It's
gonna
got
say
their
that?
name on it.
Like,
Does anybody?
you're trying to
I'll
say-
second.
you're not gonna open the
Steven
second
seconded.
hand.
Steven
We're not
seconded it,
doing
now
this.
we're having a
Okay,
discussion.
you're gonna vote on it?
No, there's situations
Thank you.
involving me
Steven
here or there. Nothing to do with
Seconded
her.
it, now
Yeah, we're not doing it.
discussion.
No,
There is
no.
a motion on the floor, sir.
Don't talk to me like a fool. You were not involved in this. You don't know who owns what. That's it. I'm not talking.
We can't have it.
We would like to move forward.
We're moving forward.
Rita,
Next up.
Do you guys have a receipt for the safe?
Yes.
We're not
Have you
receiving-
given a copy of the receipt for the safe to the village?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
then we know who owns it.
No.
We can make a motion on the floor, you have
Give me
to
another
call
copy.
I'm not doing it because we don't know who's
I mean,
what.
who's my
No,
lawnmower? You
no.
have to.
We have a motion on the floor and there's discussion, so upon receiving receipt for the safe, we would like to give it back to them.
We're not gonna do it right now because I don't know who owns what.
You have to call for a
You have to
vote
call for a vote.
on the floor with a second. If you don't know the rules, then you should let Darlene run the meeting, because there's a motion and a second.
Again,
Keep waving that paper in my face.
Don't talk to me like I'm a fool. Why don't you just stop talking?
I know you really want me to stop talking.
I'm fine with that.
Stop talking at me.
Upon receipt of the receipt, we will give them back the property.
Let's move on. Move on. There's things being looked at here, move on.
There's nothing being looked at, not by the state comptroller, not by the attorney general, not by anybody anywhere.
We have a motion and a second.
We don't have receipts for this stuff. Everything is there until this taken care of.
Mike, that's in the motion.
It's in the
It's in
motion.
the motion, once we receive the receipt,
I'm Michael.
Michael.
You don't want to call Cindy.
That's not my name, sir.
So let's move on.
Okay, so we included it in the motion upon receipt of the receipt, we will give the property back to them.
Let me see the receipt on the side for you.
No, that's
That's what the motion is. We have a second. Darlene, can you call the vote?
Let Darlene look at it on the side for you.
No, that's not the motion.
You still have to vote.
You have a receipt for this? You have a receipt for that
Yeah,
safe?
just like I would for my one.
Do you have a receipt for that safe? I'm asking you very simply. You have the receipt right here.
No.
Not here.
No, it's in our files.
But you've already got a copy of it.
No, we have.
It's in their file.
I've been here. I've been here. You're not involved in this. You're
Wait,
not.
you keep waving that paper around and acting like we're the problem.
You're not.
This is an issue. This is an issue.
Can I please focus on, is it all right? You were not put on Channel 12 as a burglar of the state, and then had a robbery in progress call when the senior center director called me down because he found a safe open, and he found envelopes in it. He did the right thing and called me. I went down there. I looked at the envelopes and I said, these are going to have to be vouchered. You came in with a phone, taping me, saying, what are you doing? You're stealing our stuff. Now, I heard the police tapes afterwards where you were laughing and saying, we know we didn't steal anything, but you had no problem taking my face and putting it all over News 12. All over News 12. You thought that was funny.
Did you review that again?
Hello, I'm not talking to you.
Because you were taking the money out of our safe.
We were not taking any money out of your safe. We were not taking, what happened was the senior director did the right thing in contact.
You told us that he jiggled the handle and the door fell off on him.
And why was the entire door off the
The
second?
door came off because it was unlocked.
The whole
When I
door
turned
came off,
it
even though
over,
the hinges on the
Point
other
of
side.
order, what are we doing here right now? When you turn it over, the door comes up. It's a column.
All we need to do is vote. There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded.
Okay, so this is why this hurts a little bit here. Because you plastered my face all over News 12.
So it's
You
personal.
claim
Hello, I'm not
ignorance
talking
and
to you.
victim and also be
Listen.
in charge of everything all the time. You
Listen,
can't, Mike.
I'm-
This is enough. You have to follow board law. You have to see the
Brandy, this is not, I'm discussing with them, stay out of this, please.
You're supposed
So
to be
this is
discussing
what
with
happens
us,
here.
Mike, it's discussion amongst the board for the AOF.
So here's it is. If you come in with a receipt for that safe, I will release it. However, I need to straighten this out right now because you tried to make me a thief. And the director was so upset. The guy's 80 years old. He said, the hell with this, I'm out of here. So this is why this hurts a little bit. And the whole thing about the senior center here, I didn't run for office to fight for the senior center. You were hired as a senior advisory board who started a Hatfield and McCoy with another group here. They came to me. They came to me about this tiff going on here and money not getting distributed to them. I had no idea what was going on. And I approached you 5 times, once with an attorney, trying to straighten this out. When we saw so much discrepancies, I had no other choice but to contact the comptroller's office. Help me out here.
What did
Nobody
the
attacked
comptroller-
me directly.
They said
Nobody
the comptroller's
went
office
after
say?
you. You did not do what you were supposed to do and unite all the seniors. That's
What did
what
the
happened.
comptroller's office say?
We had about 30 seniors.
What you're saying is
Enough.
Please call for a vote.
Talking about-
Vote in order.
No.
Call for the vote.
I'm
have a vote during open comment under the open
I'm
meeting
begging
law.
you to stop talking, so that's where, that's how we came this far. So that's why I'm a little hesitant on anything being returned, because I don't know if it belongs to you or not. So that's what's happening here, but what I will do is if you have the receipt for this safe, I will return it. There's several items that we found you don't own, and you're claiming you do. Now that's it. I am not getting any more into the senior advisory board. You were not fired. You were not. Your contract was not renewed, and it was an expired 12-year contract. Who was supposed to keep up on it? I don't know. But that's it. We're going to go further from here. That's it. And as far as me talking, I don't need you to instruct me. Okay? I don't need you to instruct me. Next up, please. Take a vote. You can have a vote. Thing I'm going to give back. All right, let's take a vote. Who will return the receipt? Say if we get the receipt. I'll be the first one to say I will. You vote?
Aye.
You have to call
Just
names.
yes or no. Can you do it?
Roll call.
Cynthia?
vote.
All right,
Nick
we'll do it.
Rallo, aye.
All right, it is going to return your receipt, okay? That's it. Next up.
Karen DeCrosta, 168 Water's Edge. So, first of all, I have to say I'm really disappointed that you passed this water sewer increase. It's $40 each cycle, which means we're going to be paying an extra $80. And that comes after you already raised the water and sewer rates, which came by surprise after you raised the village taxes. So, extreme disappointment there. The sheet of paper about positive governance. So about an hour ago, probably now, Mr. Mayor, you stood up and said, we need to stop this clown show. That's not positive governance, and it's an insult to all of the people on this village board, including yourself, I would think. Something hurts you when you hear about it or see it or whatever, you know, it's part of the job. You just gotta have some tough skin. If you're gonna make decisions based on whether somebody hurt your feelings or not, that's not positive governance. And I wish that the five of you would learn how to speak to one another professionally with only the objective of solving the problem before you. Not kicking the can down the road. 1998, the village takes the park. It's almost 30 years later. This is why old business is crucial to an agenda, and it is the part of an agenda that you neglect the most. Any more comments, Steve?
1 minute left.
Oh, wow, that was good.
Next up.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Mark Palczewski, 14 Townsend Road. I have 3 comments.
I
have 3 comments on the road. Okay, it's done all 3 minutes. On the traffic study, Randy, you mentioned 3 things: KSH, Sheffield Gardens, and Quick Check. At the planning board at the town level, I want to make you aware that there will be discussions on traffic studies, and I think you need to include a couple of things. First of all, the warehouse behind Walgreens is going to be in traffic. There's a Macedon Plaza that's going in between Quality and Dollar General. There's going to be a plan for a warehouse, a set of warehouse off of Neelytown. We're going to build out the rest of Shopping Plaza. Hawkins Drive hasn't been fully occupied. I'm just pointing this out because it's going to bring a lot more traffic to the village, whether you like it or not. In the study, you should also include the Goodwill 208 junction, the Goodwill Boyd Street shortcut that everyone seems to be taking, especially now that they know about it since the culvert thing. There's the light at 17K and 208, 208 Hawkins, 17K and 211 is going to be potentially a new light at Henry Road, 17K, and 208 I-84. Those are all things that are going to affect the village. You know, they're not inside the boundaries. Second, the DEC invasive species grant that Randy touched upon. The grant is for invasive species mitigation, grants of between $11,000 and $250,000, 2 bids per municipality, 25% matching. You can use volunteer hours at $38 an hour. Material donation. It's due 12/17. I'm working with Anna and Randy. I'm also working with people in the village of Walden on this. 12/17. So if you want to go ahead with this, you're going to have to vote on this and decide make a motion on 12/3 if you want to go ahead. The first 12/2. I'm sorry. There's an invasive map on the DEC. If anyone wants to use the link, let me know. I can show it to you. There are innumerable invasives in the village of Montgomery and pleasure grounds and other areas. And lastly, I just want to let you know, and touch on this too, the Walkill River Watershed Alliance. I've been a member since April. They asked me today to become a board member, which is, I guess, a promotion. I'm going to use that position to work with the town, the villages, Walden and Montgomery on protecting and improving the most important natural resource we have, the Walkill River. So I hope you will work on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Reynolds, 76 Weaver Street, Montgomery. Just some old business news that I haven't gotten any answers on. Maybe Randy brought it up before, I don't know, I didn't really hear that part of it. The village speed limit, the 30 miles an hour that's on, first of all, Boyd Street was corrected, thank you for that. But now Railroad Avenue's got 30 miles an hour, Dunn Drive, Water's Edge. I don't know if we're going with a village-wide thing like the attorney said to do, where you're at with doing that. The gym equipment, again, it's been going on for like 6 months. I don't know what we're doing with the gym equipment there that was there. I did talk to Brian Marr. Maybe he's reached out to you. The hydrant issue, I think there was 3 hydrants left to be fixed. I did ask about that too, on maybe taking some money out of the general fund or the fund balance and using it, loaning it, and then paying it back later. You guys know the proper procedure to do that. I would think that you would do that, especially with the $40 being raised here, so you could pay it back. The Girl Scout gazebo over here, I'd like to know what the plans are of updating that before it just becomes a pile of wood over there. This was brought up here by Don. I did bring it up at the planning board meeting though, is to address the parking in our downtown area. We got businesses that are going to go on Clinton Street that are going to require more parking. Obviously, there's some vacant storefronts up there, but if they're going to succeed, they need parking areas. So we need to address the parking. Just paving that parking lot isn't going to solve the problem. It's not increasing any parking spaces. You might want to think about a parking garage. Just my thought. I got some other ideas with that. The work session that was had, I don't know where that cluster came from, but it wasn't posted really well. And then when you did have it, you weren't having it, and then some showed, some didn't. I think work sessions are a good thing. Instead of sitting here talking about something for 20 minutes and not accomplishing anything, when you could have a work session and try to plan on addressing these issues. And the last thing is, I've said about a moderator before, a mediator, whatever you want to talk, with the advisory board, this has been going on for like years now. Get somebody to sit down between you and them. I don't care how it makes it. Get it over with and be done with it. Instead of this arguing back and forth. Give them their shit back. I'm sorry for this person, but it's the truth. Let's stop this bullshit. I don't care, and get it over with. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Good job.
Let's go to 3 minutes.
Hey, I'm Steve, 205 Concord Road. Gotta tell you a story that happened a few weeks ago. I was doing a project in my home, and I broke the water valve at the house entrance. So I jumped in a truck, ran down to see Jake. Jake was off that day, but the guys there said, "Can we help you?" And I was back in my driveway 5 minutes, they came with the turn off valve for the curb out in the street, the village's curb valve. And it was the end of the day, it was really late, about 3:30, it was time for these guys to go home. So I was so grateful, I went to give them two $20 bills to buy lunch tomorrow, and they wouldn't accept it. And that's the kind of dedicated employees we have in this village. Now, Mike mentioned about signing 2 resignations, and the reason he signed those 2 resignations is, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Jake, our mechanic laborers make $25.21 an hour, about that?
No.
The laborers.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. I talked to Sean Mears today, who's the superintendent of the town highway department. His same mechanics with the same commercial driver's license earned $35.65 an hour. That's over $20,000 a year for jumping ship out of the village of Montgomery and going up to the town garage on River Road. And that's why we can't retain our employees, because we're not giving them a living wage. So I want something for everybody to consider that. You know, you don't know how good they are until you need them. Boy, when you need them, they're right there. Thank you.
Add to this, Tom, we have two letters of reference I have for people I'm hoping don't move.
When did we accept one letter of reference?
We voted on it.
With two letters of references, actually. I mean, come on. Crawford Road, $20,000 for a year working for Sean Mears, and you're full for Jake. It's not Jake.
You know, we gotta understand here, you talk about this transparency. Nobody's doing anything behind the back, except this sewer plant here, where 3 years met without us knowing it.
You're not gonna speak
I'm
that.
just gonna tell you.
I'm telling you, if you say it again, you'll be getting a letter from my attorney for slander. You are talking about a meeting you were not at, and you gave confidential information to someone else who read it twice, not once, but twice in public, and said my name when there's a confidential disclosure on this email. And you continue to talk about a meeting you were not at. You do not know what happened, and you cannot presume to know.
Let's move on. Just the public has to know what happened.
The public does have to know. Sir, the first time that I heard about a water treatment plant, excuse me, I'm speaking. The first time I spoke, I've ever. So he can slander me, and he can disparage me, and he can lie on record, and that's okay.
I'm just saying, 3 years met with the town supervisor.
That is not true. Please stop saying it.
I'm sorry. Next.
Okay, Rob Salad, One Pine Court. 10 people called 911 because a 6'4" man was beating a 10-year-old in front of the courthouse steps. 20 cops showed up, body cameras rolling. 5 cameras on the courthouse wall recording. 25 people on the sidewalk, cell phones recording. 20 cops show up, take the guy into custody. 5 cops go to the hospital, injured. 10-year-old goes to the hospital, clinging to life. The guy who did it, the next day gets to stand in front of a judge and say, not guilty, I didn't do it. It's called due process. Nobody gets to accuse anybody of anything. And it's private, it's secret, and it's not transparent. One of the things this board has a problem with is understanding that as a public servant, you have less privacy, not more, than the average person. If you want to see the law, show it to you. If you want to see the decisions from the Office of Open Government, I'll show it to you. I was subject of a complaint. I think you guys found out today about 3 o'clock that your lawyer was giving you really bad advice when it came to transparency. Didn't you? Did you all find out about that today yet? No? Well, I guess you didn't find out about it yet, but you will. You got really bad advice and rulings were overturned. The public has a right to know about 99.9% of the things you guys say and do in the name of truth, whether you like it or not. Nobody gets to hide. Nobody gets to make complaints and emails and stay private. Not Trustee Tingerillo, not me, not Deputy Mayor, nobody.
Unreal.
No, unreal. That's right. I got your emails from the FAA today. Unreal. Okay. You don't get to hide. You don't get to make complaints and say they did it because I wrote a letter and
I'm
said
going to
so.
say on record again that this is a fixation on me because you don't see any other things going on here, and it makes me feel unsafe, and it makes me feel uncomfortable, and I'm gonna say it and say it and say it again.
Okay, thank you. So my words can never be problems. I'm not saying anything bad. The fixation is with me, not with you. Nobody else writes letters about me to complain about things that. Did you hear back from the FAA? Because I did. Yeah, right. Yes, it is a notification.
It is a specific target, something?
I'm specifically targeting those who target me for my due process. That's all.
If it's due process, then
I'm the person with the mic. I'm the forum person.
I just say.
Now, sorry about that. I can't get 10 seconds for interruption. But anyway, the point is this. You can't say somebody did something to you and they're guilty and they don't get to find out about it. And then if they find out about it, this one goes to the state police and reports a breach of...
her name is Cynthia, sir.
I get a few more seconds back. You don't get to report to the state police alleging a crime, naming 4 people or 3 people in the village as possible perpetrators. You have no idea if the crime was committed or not. You don't have the authority as trustees to do that. Period. If you think you do, show me from where. You don't have the authority to do it. You don't have the authority to do it, not in the name of the village. Thank you.
Disagree.
You disagree all you want. The lawyer disagreed too. I'm not even wrong with that.
Next up. Anybody else? Make a motion to adjourn.
I raised my hand about 15 minutes ago. I've been to village board meetings, town board meetings by the hundreds. And the last one that I did when I was up in Vermont, every trustee had a phone or a microphone. There was a microphone for the attorneys, there was a microphone for the village clerk or town clerk, whichever it was, and there was a microphone out in the middle for the audience. I sat here, I spent over $4,000 for my ears. You know, we got 75% of the people in here are senior citizens. We can't hear what the hell's going on. I sit right here and I don't know what's going on. You'll have a good argument going. I enjoy a good argument, but I don't know what the heck you're arguing about. I go home now, and my wife says, what happened at the village board? And I said, how the hell do I know? Walkville Valley Times will have a little bit on here that I can read. And I agree with Chief Reynolds. These microphones don't mean a damn thing here. They're directional. You ever watch the people that are singing on television? They look like they're going to kiss the damn microphone. If you get away from there like that, you're waving a microphone, nobody hears anything. These are directional. And I would like to see the board even go out and spend a few $100s and get us all microphones so we can know what's going on with your meetings.
So you don't have You just don't have the money to go.
You don't have the money. I've heard that for them many
I
times on the board.
I know.
You can't come up with a couple $100.
That was supposed to be fixed. It was discussed for months here about the microphones, and the problem was going to be solved, and it's still not solved.
It's not solved.
But fix one simple thing at a time. That's all you need to do.
Well, we should have had streets paved and all that stuff here, and now it's all shut down.
$48 from the water bill, so.
Mike, we've been talking about microphones for years here at these board meetings. Come on. For years.
These are new.
I didn't expect it from Chief Reynolds. I didn't think he'd even come here and be able to talk after insurance company.
All right, we're getting motions to adjourn.
I would like to adjust the microphones. Yes, can I speak?
Yes, you can. Okay, it's a free country. No, you're not in charge of this.
Make the motion to adjourn.
You can't suppress anyone's speech. Speak, don't ask permission.
Brady, you're not the mayor.
I
I should have given a microphone update in my report, I'm sorry.
You have to understand you're not the mayor. And you just don't seem to understand. Okay, if you act, if you have respect for authority, you know it, but you just don't.
Before you leave, like I said, I should have given the microphone update during my updates. So yes, we've gotten 2 new microphones and a new board in the back. I have been working with Joanne here at the senior center. We do need 2 more microphones. I completely agree with that. And then we need a new, another piece of equipment in the back that is also broken. So far, $700 of my own money has been given to the village to just get this far. We still. Sorry, it is for this, and there is fine tuning. But once we receive the other piece of equipment and 2 more microphones, we will get it updated. Again, this is all donated. The time is donated from a village resident to hook everything up, and then we need to purchase a closet for security purposes, so that once it's all installed, nobody can get into it, which is another large chunk of change. So because the village was not willing to purchase these, we do have to wait until I have the extra funds to do it. So for right now, this is what we have. It was a tester. It's working so far. It's just going to get better.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Mayor Henry, can I just ask you one question? While we have everyone's attention still. Nobody wants to sit through these meetings like this. I don't want to sit through these meetings like this. So how do you propose that we move forward?
How do I propose? You weren't part of this tonight, it was all me.
I didn't say that. I said, how do you propose that we
So
move
it's
forward?
like when something goes south, all of a sudden you stand back. You want to be the mayor sometimes, but...
No, I'm asking
I make a
how
motion
we
to
move
adjourn. Make a motion to adjourn. Wow. Vote, make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Charlie did. Stephen? All right, second.
I don't want to spend more time. I did this because I love everyone here, and I love this community. I'm sure you feel the same way. Why can we just not move forward and how do you propose we do it together? How do we do it? Everything we've tried is not working, so what do we do now?
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Good night.